Hey everyone, welcome back to Genai's Android News. Let's kick things off with some disappointing news for our stateside viewers. According to Android Authority, the upcoming OnePlus 16 is shaping up to be an absolute beast. We're talking ultra-narrow bezels and a custom screen that's going to look absolutely stunning. But here's the kicker. If you're in the United States, you're going to miss out on this one entirely. It's a real shame considering how killer the device appears to be based on the latest leaks. OnePlus has been pretty inconsistent with US availability over the years, and unfortunately, it looks like this flagship won't break that trend. Now, let's talk about Android 17 updates. As reported by Android Authority, Motorola's update roadmap is raising some eyebrows. Here's the weird part. Some phones that haven't even been officially announced are already on the list for Android 17, which is kind of cool for early adopters. But here's what's not so cool. Lenovo has decided to skip over several recent Edge and Moto G models for Android 17 eligibility. If you're rocking one of those devices, you might be out of luck when it comes to this next Android version. It's an odd move, especially considering these are relatively recent flagships and mid-rangers that should easily handle Android 17. Alright, so we've got some interesting news for those of you interested in Google's latest flagship. According to Android Authority, Google is asking a cool $1,099 for the Pixel 11 Pro, which is definitely premium pricing. But here's where it gets interesting. One of our industry colleagues managed to snag the same device for just $399. How? Well, it turns out that all of Google's various promotions, trade-in deals, and carrier bundles can stack up to create some seriously impressive savings. We're talking hundreds of dollars off. So if you've been eyeing that Pixel 11 Pro, it's definitely worth checking out what deals are currently available, because that official price tag doesn't tell the whole story. Here's something you might not realize. Google's new Android Pulse app might already be sitting on your phone right now. According to Android Authority, Google has quietly added this new app to Android, and it's actually keeping tabs on potential trouble. Think of it as a diagnostic and monitoring tool that's running in the background, helping to detect and report issues before they become major problems. It's one of those features that works best when you don't even realize it's there. The app is designed to improve your overall system stability and performance by identifying problematic behaviors and apps that could be draining your battery or causing slowdowns. Pretty handy to have around, honestly. Here's something that's going to ruffle some feathers in the Android community. Android Police is reporting that Samsung's upcoming Galaxy S27 Ultra could borrow more design cues from Apple's iPhone than we've ever seen before. We're talking about potential camera bump designs and overall aesthetic choices that might make the S27 Ultra look more iPhone adjacent. Now, before anyone gets too worked up, it's worth noting that design trends have a way of converging across the industry. But if these renders and reports are accurate, Samsung is definitely taking a page, or maybe a few pages, out of Apple's design playbook for their next flagship. It'll be interesting to see how fans and critics react when Samsung officially unveils the S27 Ultra. If you just picked up a shiny new Pixel 11 and wanted to jump into Genshin Impact, you might have hit a frustrating roadblock. Android Authority is reporting that Genshin Impact is currently unplayable on the Pixel 11, and you're definitely not alone if you've encountered this issue. The good news? Google and the development team are actively working on a fix. This appears to be a compatibility issue specific to the Pixel 11's hardware or software configuration. For now, it's just something to be aware of if you're a mobile gamer, but hopefully we'll see this resolved in an update very soon. This last story is absolutely wild. Android Authority is reporting that Samsung's upcoming Exynos 2700 processor could potentially outperform Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro. But here's the catch. Samsung reportedly conducted these performance tests itself. Now, we always have to take internally conducted benchmarks with a grain of salt, because companies obviously want to make their chips look as good as possible. That said, if there's even a kernel of truth here, it could mean we're looking at a genuine performance leap for Samsung's own processor. This could be huge for Galaxy S27 owners who opt for the Exynos variant instead of waiting for the Snapdragon version. We'll definitely want to see independent testing once these devices launch.